Want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors on my channel, Vite Ramen. If you guys don't know what Vite Ramen is, they make a really healthy ramen that's really, 27 minerals and vitamins, 30 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber. I mean, what else can you ask for ramen? Plus 10% off with the code Coolmark. Go check them out down below and enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks, guys. Hello everyone, we're back. I realize I say all right too much whenever I talk, but that's okay. So we're just gonna dive right into the actual updates of 1.19.0. The first thing to note is that 1.19.0 and 1.18.0 have been merged together. So there's a lot of overlap here. You guys will see like the special room commands that can be added, as well as the player commands. There are some special third-person holsters that are gonna be added as well in large server side changes. But we're gonna talk about the stuff that they actually added into the second part of the update, the 1.19.0 part of the update. So there's going to be some improved joystick shoot and scope aim buttons, which honestly sounds a little bit wordy and confusing, but I'll show you guys what it looks like in the settings there. I'll read verbatim what they actually posted here on the blog post for the developers. So they felt that there was a better way to indicate the use of joysticks and joystick buttons in critical ops, and that is why they developed the joystick fire button feature. This is why we have improved the visual indication of these buttons. Now you'll be able to see the icon of the joystick move along with your finger with a directional line indicating the movement direction. This is meant to visualize the old shoot button aim functionality. In addition, we've removed this We've removed the settings toggle for disaim shoot button aim and replaced it with a new slider called fire button aim sensitivity. Together with scoped insensitivity slider, this makes it possible to create custom sensitivities for both shoot and aim joystick buttons. To disable this feature, you can slide the values to 0 to turn off the feature. So basically, I think they were making it so that you can change how much you want your aim to move if you are aiming buttons. So I would turn it off basically, because whenever I tapped my shoot button, I didn't want it to move anywhere. I would only want my thumb to move because I play claw. But if you do want to use like your thumb, if you use that as a pointer finger to actually move it around and be able to shoot, you can change that sensitivity right in within that little button region. The developers' comments here are that those icons for the shoot and aim button have now been moved or now move with your finger. They've removed the disable shoot button. They replaced it with the new fire button aim sensitivity slider. They've allowed for custom shoot button movement sensitivity, and the scope and sensitivity slider does the same for the aim button. They've allowed for custom aim button movement sensitivity. And then they've added directional indicators for lines of all joysticks, which is, I think, kind of cool, but interesting. We'll see. Usually it's only like the movement joystick, but now the aim joystick also has the movement indicator. And then there's a visual indicator line connecting the base of the joystick with the icon. So there's a lot of stuff there, slightly tweaked. All right, so we're actually going to jump into a match here to show you what these look like here. This is the new map Shanty, and this actually does cover some of the new changes as well. So I want to, before we actually get into it, there's going to be some new default and sniping settings. So I think the default is 3.5 and 3.5. That's what it was when I actually went. I had to change it back to normal. And so with the addition of the joystick fire button, they are also introducing new ways to utilize snipers. Using the settings you can change. Now you'll be able to use release scope button to shoot and hold scope button to aim to customize the way sniping works. So before you just tap it and then it would aim in forever. Now you can actually hold it if you wanted to, release the second you untap the button. So it really just depends on how you like it. I honestly probably will hold it because I am bad with my fingers here when I play games, and so it just makes it easier for me, bigger room for error. And then the default settings for the new players will be based on the release to shoot and hold to aim methods. And then this one is pretty big here. So the viewport bug fix and tweaks the weapon position. So they fixed the bug that caused the weapons to shift to the first person view. It was really weird if you were on the beta. I wasn't on the beta for a while, so I didn't really see it that often. They've also adjusted the weapon positions though. It implies that many of the weapon animations feel closer to the screen, which is very true. If you guys look at the screen, it will look very weird. They're going to take feedback from this, but I will give you my stance here. What they want to do is they want to create an appropriate and fair field between bigger and smaller screens, aka phones and tablets. I don't like this at all. I personally think this should also be a slider. It just looks silly. Like, we'll go in here and you'll inspect a weapon and half of the weapon is not even on the screen. I just think it looks dumb, and I think it should be customizable. you guys know how much I really support the game and what the game does, but this one I really don't support at all. I've actually had some opinions exchanged in Slack and Discord with the developers. I firmly disagree and don't support this weapon position change. I think it should be customizable. You shouldn't just force everyone to change to this. You should give them an option to change, like you did with the shoot button. You know, give them the slider. Don't necessarily just change it all, but we'll dive into here. And then some of the other bug fixes, right? They fixed the bug that caused login issues. They fixed the bug when party member emblems would not actually update properly. They fixed the minimap disappearing bug. Thank God, finally. And then they fixed multiple bug issues that caused in-game crashes. But without further ado, let's talk about what it looks like here when you're sniping. All right, so look how big this is. This is kind of outrageous. Like, you can see how half the sniper, you know, when you're inspecting it's just not here. But you can see here the button actually looks different now. So you can see how there's like a little indicator there. And same thing with, well, we'll turn it all the way to 100. I'm not going to do the commands because there's no necessity for the commands. But you can see here, you see how that moves? That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that it moves there. And then same with the same with this as well. You can see that there's like the whole thing. Same with the shooting. So when you aim, basically for me, it'll only aim in if I want to oh, that's interesting. It'll only aim in if I want to actually shoot. So that's a setting you can change. You can see here, I'm not going to tap the shoot button, but if I release it, it'll shoot automatically. So that's like a new feature here. So for me personally, I don't like that. So release aim to shoot, that's going to go off for me. But you can see here, this is our new option. So you can aim if you want to here, which I think is kind of interesting. This will probably be weird for my thumb because I usually don't aim with my pointer finger, but you can see here, you can aim like that. You can also aim like this now, which I don't like at all. So I'm turning both of these off. But this is a new feature for you guys. So the fire button aim sensitivity, turn that off. And then where's the other one? Aim sensitivity, scoped in sensitivity. That should be it, I think. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. For some reason, I guess when you aim in, you can still move that. I guess that's kind of weird. Yeah, fire button scoped in sensitivity. Maybe that's 0. I guess I can't move it. That's weird. I guess when you're scoped in, you have to use that. That's kind of strange. I don't know if that's a thing yet. If you can turn that off, hold to aim. So if I turn off hold to aim, well, you can still aim like this. I don't like that. I'm not a huge fan of that because I know that will be interesting for me. I'm just not the biggest fan. I'm probably gonna keep hold to aim, but yeah. So this is just overall a lot of the changes you can see here. When you're playing with this, you know, it just looks interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of this, especially on an iPad. It just looks so wacky, you know. I'll turn off the HUD for you guys so you can actually see how it looks. We'll turn it down to 10%, well 0% first, and then we're gonna switch sides on the team. So this is the one I want you guys to look at. Look at, you can see how half the AK is off the screen when I'm animating it, you know, when I'm looking at it. I don't like that. Just not a big fan of this at all. Same with the GSR. You see how much screen space it took up when you're pulling it out? Like that's insane. And then same thing, inspecting it, it's halfway off the screen. Like this it's not optimized well. I think it should be a slider. Like if you want to make it really small, you can. If you want to make it really big, you can. It should be a personal preference thing. It shouldn't be like an everyone is forced to do it thing. What do you guys think though? I think this personally looks really ugly. And that's my suggestion. I don't want to give, you know, I don't want to just trash the devs and say that like, hey, this is a bad feature, not give them a solution. My solution is make it a slider. So, you know, this can be like 150 or whatever, but make it like the, you know, I would say make the smallest one the default version from last time. So you can't make it any smaller than it was before, but you still have to make it so that like, hey, if you want to make it bigger and you want to like, you want your, you know, weapon or whatever to take up more of your screen, maybe like it's better for thumbnails. You know, I think if you want it to be bigger, you can actually go in, you know, turn off your HUD. Maybe the gun actually looks better here. So like, you know, if you want to inspect it and you want to get like a higher res photo, you could do that here. And that kind of looks nice, but really, I don't like this. It just doesn't look good in my opinion. And obviously people are going to have opinions on this. What do you think about it though? And then, yeah, this is the new map. It's called Shanty. It's kind of like it looks like we're in like a area that is more like oceany. I haven't really gone over to the ocean area like here yet. I don't think you can go into the ocean, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not an option here, but yeah, it's a pretty nice like TDM match. Nice little barrels here. You can't really do anything. You can jump on top of these, I think, but other than that, it's a pretty self-explanatory map. A lot of winds and curves, but still like you don't get lost in this map, I don't think. At least you shouldn't get lost, at least for the most part. But yeah, just exploring it a little bit. There's a lot of places you can go. It'll be a fun TDM match, I believe. I think this would actually be good for gun game. I don't know about TDM though, because it's like it's just not a very open area. I think TDM is great when it's kind of like an open area, and this has a lot of curves. So actually, I take back what I said. It is probably pretty easy to get lost in this map. But what do you think about this map? How do you like it? How do you like this update overall? I think the latter part of this update is not my favorite. I like the 1.18.0 part of the update where you could like change settings, kick people, add money, things like that. I really like that. I think the sniping stuff is okay, being able to aim while you're scoped in, things like that, or like release to aim instead of hold to aim, release to aim, things like that. I think that's okay, but this part just bugs me. I'm not a fan of this at all. We'll see if you guys are a fan of this. I expect you probably not to be. If you're an iPad user, if you're a mobile user, then you probably don't care about it. But hopefully you did enjoy this video. Let me know what you want to say, what you think about all this stuff here. Yeah, you can see it doesn't feel optimized, whatever. But hopefully you did enjoy. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Let me know what videos you guys want to see, what types of videos. I play ranked a ton, and it gets kind of stale after a while. So yeah, feedback is all appreciated, and I will see you all later. Peace out, everybody.